All right, hi everybody. John Meadows here, and today we're going to talk about carbohydrates. But before we do that, my son Alexander would like to show you a yo-yo trick.
Okay.
Go for it. What is that called?
Barrel rolls. It was the combo.
That was a barrel roll combo. Thank you, Alexander. Alexander has been practicing his yo-yoing, and he got another new yo-yo for his birthday. So, what are we talking about? Carbohydrates. So, we did a video on foods, which some of my favorite foods, 7 favorite foods, and several people said, "Can you do one on protein? Can you do one on carbs?" Because it was mostly fats. And I was thinking, yeah, you're right. There was avocado, extra virgin olive oil. So yeah, we can absolutely do one on carbohydrates. All right, so number one on our list of carbohydrates is sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes, probably you've all had them. Good source of fiber, low in fat. They have a lot of carotenes in them, beta carotene, which is a carotenoid, which is it's a great micronutrient. That particular type of carotenoid, the carotenes, beta carotene, that's what gives it that color. It's a plant pigment that gives it that orange color. But anyways, those actually can convert to vitamin A, which is a really important vitamin in your body. It's fat soluble, so you might want to put a little butter on your sweet potato to get maximum absorption. Sweet potatoes are a fantastic choice. A lot of good micronutrients in it as well. Very, very healthy. Again, the carotenes, which will convert to vitamin A, the fiber. And I also find that they can taste good cold. So for those of you who travel, you can keep them on ice and you can eat them. You can even bake them and make them into chips. You can use a little bit of avocado oil, bake them. But just an excellent food, sweet potatoes. So we're going to start off with sweet potatoes first on our list. Number 2 on the list is good old oatmeal. Oatmeal is always one of my favorite carbohydrates. And when I was dieting, like the taste of a bowl of oatmeal was so good. We would put a little bit of it was equal back in the old days. Now we'd put a little Splenda on it if we put something on it. A lot of fiber, a good balance of soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber is the fiber that when you read about it, it creates a gel-like mass. That's the term you always hear when you're reading in your stomach. So it slows it down in your stomach and more nutrients can get absorbed. Whereas insoluble fiber kind of builds bulk into your stool and then it shoots it out of you. So it's good to help you use the bathroom so you don't get constipated. The fiber, one of the fibers is the that I mentioned is really beta glucans is the name. And that's why you see all these heart healthy declarations on all the oatmeal containers, because that's supposed to help with cholesterol and all this good stuff. The other thing about oatmeal is you don't really have to cook it. I remember taking oatmeal to shows many times and just putting it in a little bowl, sprinkling a little Splenda on it, maybe throwing a couple chopped nuts, and it actually tastes really good just like that. So super, super convenient. If you did want to cook it, I remember when we were traveling, we used to get the coffee maker in a hotel room, and we used to pour the hot water through it and then pour that onto the oatmeal. So we always found a way to make it, even if we didn't have a microwave. But oatmeal, great source of fiber, healthy carbohydrate. Another one that, as long as you can tolerate all that fiber, then you're good to go. One thing that people ask me too is, what about the packets of oatmeal and the 1-minute oats? Now, those have been processed a little further. They probably don't have as much fiber, but it's still a good food. It doesn't completely ruin the oats. Sometimes people say, well, now it's a trash food. It's not a trash food. Maybe get a little bit less fiber. Maybe it strips out a little bit of the minerals, but overall, it's still a healthy food. So I wouldn't eat the sugar-loaded ones all the time. I would rather have you eat something that you use the plain oats and flavor it. But if you need to add a little bit of flavoring to it, I totally get it. Next up, I was fortunate enough to try lentils with my Indian friends when I used to work at Chase Bank. I have a good friend that worked there. His name was Prashant Natiri, good friend of mine. And he used to always, every time we go to his house, he'd make us lentils, and it was a soup. It was more the red lentils. The black lentils are more, I see that more on like salads and things like that, but the red lentils and sometimes the green ones would be more cooked and put into soups. Lentils are really, really unique because they're pretty high in protein too. So good amount of carbs, a good amount of protein, low fat, and they just taste outstanding. And sometimes we would take like a lentil soup and we would pour it on fish, like pour it on cod, like a whitefish. Outstanding. Lentils have a ton of minerals too. A lot of minerals. I think there's one molybdenum or something like that it's really high in. But so there's a lot of micronutrition. Just in addition to the macros, there's a lot of good micronutrition with lentils as well. That's one I would encourage you to try too. Again, as long as you can handle fiber, because there is quite a bit of fiber in lentils as well. So some of the other minerals that's in lentils, folate, copper, phosphorus, it's just a mineral powerhouse. So I will give that one a shot as well. Next up on my list is white rice. Now you're probably thinking, oh my God, no fiber, not a bunch of nutrients. But like I said, there's different reasons for eating different foods. Now, I've been talking about these foods that are pretty high in fiber. Now, if you sit around and you eat oats all day, lentils all day, if you eat that stuff all day, even the sweet potatoes, that fiber can get really uncomfortable. So I like to eat foods that just simply digest easier too, just common sense. Sometimes you want to eat something that just digests easy. And I find that white rice, particularly jasmine rice, that's my favorite. My ultimate favorite is, Trader Joe's had these boxes of, it's their own brand of white rice. And they come in bags and you just put it in the microwave and it steams it. So you essentially get steamed jasmine white rice. And myself, my friends, all my clients, we used to live on that when we were dieting. But it just digests really, really easy. So in terms of just ease of digestion, white rice is fantastic. It's really good for people to kind of carb up on as they get closer to a show. Again, because it digests easy, it doesn't just sit in your gut. So white rice, particularly the jasmine rice, is my favorite rice. I absolutely love it. Now, if you like brown rice, hey, that's fantastic too. You get more fiber, you get some more B vitamins, but I love white rice. Speaking of rice, my next food is cream of rice. It's really not that much different than white rice. It's just a granulated rice. Now, I've been talking about these concoction bowls, and I think most of you who watch my videos know what a concoction bowl is. It's when I take cream of rice and I put in a nut butter, like an almond butter scoop or a scoop of peanut butter or cashew butter, whatever, some sugar-free chocolate syrup, mix it all up, and I have this thing called a concoction bowl, and usually it's my pre-workout meal. But cream of rice, again, digests really, really easy, and it's super calorically dense. Like just a quarter cup of that powder is 36 grams of carbs. So you can just have a half a cup and get 72 grams of carbs. It is the ultimate food for carbing up on, and easily my number one choice. And for those of you who have a hard time putting on weight, I mean, eat a cup of that and think about how many carbs that is. And then what if you put in some peanut butter and what have you? You've got a real calorically dense meal. Cream of rice, I would say this, there is a lot of iron in it, so I tend to use a different brand. It's actually called Rice and Grinds because it's lower in iron, and most of us don't really need a lot of extra iron due to all the hemi-iron we get from meat and all that good stuff. But so cream of rice, another one that's just great for ease of digestion, get a lot of calories in you, that's not going to bloat you. All right, now up is my favorite carbohydrate, and it is sourdough bread. If you've been watching my Instagram, you see that I always eat sourdough bread. Sourdough bread I started eating in 1500 BC with my fellow Egyptians. Really, really cool bread though. They take like a wild yeast and they combine it with lactic acid bacteria to kind of make the bread. That's the initial part of it. The lactic acid bacteria, like if you've ever heard me talk about kimchi and sauerkraut and pickles and yogurt, things that are probiotics, you'll hear that lactic acid bacteria. And it's really cool because it can also decrease phytic acid by probably a half, we'd say 50%. Phytic acid that's the bandwagon that all the anti-whole grain people are on. They're like, oh my God, phytic acid binds the minerals. You can't absorb any minerals. It's going to kill you. It's not that bad. Okay, so I don't mind having some whole grains. But anyways, I think sourdough bread is an excellent choice. and I would advise you to give it a shot. I like it a lot. So that is my favorite carbohydrate. Okay, last up, tortillas. Now you've got corn tortillas, you've got flour tortillas. Pretty similar. The flour tortillas are typically a little higher in fat. Not an exceptional source of nutrients, so why would I advise this? Well, remember, again, I said I eat different foods for different reasons. Tortillas make getting food down easier. And so what I do is I can pack chicken in it. I could pack fish in it if I wanted. I could pack some grass-fed meat in it if I wanted. But I don't have a real big appetite. So putting meats, proteins in my tortillas and having those tortillas is an easy way for me to get my protein down and my meals down. So it's I use it for that purpose. So if you're one of those folks, you have trouble getting all the food down you need, man, when you use tortillas, it makes it a lot easier to get down. And they taste really good too. So it's a little different reasoning. It's not for micronutrients or it's going to enhance your lifespan or do anything like that, or there's these fat-soluble vitamins. It's more of just to help you get other foods down, which I think is a good thing. And I hear that commonly. John, I can't get all the food down I need. So that's my last one. All right, and we're going to have a special bonus carbohydrate for you. But I'm going to let Alexander pick it out. So Alexander, come back. I see you've got something with you. What is this? Is this your favorite carbohydrate?
Yeah.
What is it?
Ramen noodles.
And why do you like ramen noodles?
Because they're good.
They taste good?
Yeah, but only the chicken flavor to me.
Chicken flavored ramen noodles. Isn't there a shrimp flavor too?
I don't know. I don't like those.
Is there a beef flavor?
Yes.
All right. So also chicken, these got a lot of sodium in them too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a whole container, 1,520 milligrams. We actually like sodium. Sodium's not a bad thing. So there you go. We're going to call it the sodium carbohydrate. Ramen noodles, chicken flavored, courtesy of Alexander.